Thousands of people are marching in New Zealand right now, and it's all because of a controversial Indigenous bill. But what does it actually mean for the future of the country? Stick around to find out. Okay, let's break this down. In New Zealand, there's a bill that's stirring up some serious controversy. It's called the Indigenous Bill, and right now, it's the talk of the town. Well, actually, more like the talk of the nation. People are taking to the streets in droves to protest it. And this march to Parliament is just the latest show of force. Now, here's where it gets tricky. The Indigenous Bill is designed to give more rights and recognition to New Zealand's Indigenous Māori people. On the surface, that sounds pretty fair, right? After all, many would agree that the Māori have faced historical injustice and discrimination. But the bill has sparked some heated debates, with both supporters and opposers making their voices heard loud and clear. Imagine trying to give everyone a slice of cake, but some people think their slice is too small, and others think they shouldn't even be sharing the cake in the first place. Well, that's kind of what's happening here. The bill proposes to expand Māori rights and representation in areas like land ownership, education, and healthcare. But for some, the fear is that it could create a separation between Māori and non-Māori New Zealanders. And not everyone is convinced this is the best approach. But before you jump to conclusions, let's talk about why this protest is so significant. The Māori make up about 16% of New Zealand's population, but their culture, history, and identity are deeply woven into the country's fabric. For many, this bill could represent a step forward in healing a painful past, while for others, it feels like a divide. Protesters believe that the bill doesn't do enough to address the disparities faced by the Māori, and some feel that it might be a symbolic gesture rather than a true path to equality. Meanwhile, supporters argue that it's a necessary step toward reconciliation, creating a more inclusive future for New Zealand. Now, here's the real kicker. This isn't just a local issue. The outcome of this bill could set a precedent for other countries with Indigenous populations facing similar challenges. What happens in New Zealand might inspire change or spark protest across the globe. Okay, now that we know the basics, let's talk about what this means for the future. Will New Zealand finally make strides toward healing its past? Or are we looking at more divisions in society? This protest is just the beginning, and the pressure is only going to build as the debate rages on. So here's where you come in. What do you think? Should New Zealand pass the Indigenous Bill, or do you think it's the wrong approach? Is this really a step forward or just a quick fix to a much bigger problem? Is this bill a masterpiece in the making, or just another unfinished draft? Come on, don't leave us hanging, drop a comment below, and let's get the conversation going. And hey, if you agree with one side or the other, hit that like button. Or dislike it if you're like, nah, I don't think this will work. Whatever you think, we want to hear from you. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the latest updates from around the world. From controversial bills to global protests, we've got you covered. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Let's keep this conversation going, and I'll see you in the next video.